received. Thank you very much, my dear brother, for the very kind words of welcome. We would like to start off by commending you for holding successful presidential elections in September of this year, and to congratulate you on re-election. Our presence here affirms the deep and lasting fraternal relations and bonds between our two countries, relations that were forged in the trenches of struggle. This year marks 30 years since the achievement of democracy in South Africa. It is an occasion to pay tribute to many countries that supported our struggle for freedom from the bondage of apartheid and colonialism. The People's Democratic Republic of Algeria was foremost amongst those countries that we are truly grateful for. As South Africans, we owe the people of Nigeria a great debt for the support that Algeria gave to South Africa to be free. We have achieved our liberation, but the task of development in our country continues. But at the same time, the unity between our two countries is important as we move on to develop our countries. The binational commission between South Africa and Algeria is an important opportunity to once again engage meaningfully on the issues that affect our two respective countries, but also to engage on issues that affect our continent, as well as global issues. We share a common conviction that deepening our bilateral relations should serve the cause of African economic integration, should also lead to shared prosperity, stability, and peace. Bilateral relations between the Republic of South Africa and Algeria have grown exponentially since the establishment of the Ministerial Joint Binational Commission of Cooperation in 1998. This was elevated to a binational commission in the year 2000, which signified the strategic nature of the bilateral relations that exist between our two nations. The binational commission covers a range of areas of cooperation that are important to our two countries, and they involve and cover investment, trade, agriculture, water resource management, information technology. The areas of cooperation also include people-to-people exchanges. This binational commission attests to the great potential that exists for even further cooperation between our two countries. Bilateral investment and trade between our two countries needs to be expanded and to be broadened. Currently, South Africa imports mainly chemicals, mineral fuels, ceramic products, and machinery from Algeria. And South Africa exports to Algeria include prepared foodstuffs, fresh produce, machinery, and base metals. Your Excellency, we need to be harnessing the cooperative advantages of South Africa and Algeria to deepen and broaden investment and trade between our two nations. For example, Algeria is one of Africa's top oil and natural gas producers. South Africa, with its vast platinum reserves, is positioning itself to be at the forefront of the green hydrogen economy. Opportunities exist to deepen bilateral trade and investment in agriculture, agro-processing, aviation, automotive, mining, financial services, and many others. The investment climate is ripe for cooperation as well as for infrastructure development. We should prioritize our respective state-owned companies and businesses to support each other's infrastructure programs. We should not need to source materials and products and expertise from outside our continent. We must take advantage of the opportunities also presented to us by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. In January this year, South Africa commenced the preferential trade under this treaty. We look forward to more countries on the continent operating under the agreement, including Algeria. And we are committed to working with Algeria in this regard. You and I, in our tete-a-tete, we committed ourselves to ensuring that there is greater and closer cooperation between our two countries at all levels, both at the political level, at the diplomatic level, at the commercial level, trade and investment, and we agreed that this would be the best outcome for us as the two countries remain close. As we work to develop our countries and continent, there are many things that we need to address in the course of doing so. One of those is climate change. Extreme weather caused by climate change, whether in the form of floods, heat waves, or severe drought, has profound social, economic, and political implications. Like Algeria, South Africa is already a water-stressed country. The effects of climate change provides a compelling case for further to explore cooperation, with the countries of the world having committed themselves to various agreements in this regard. It is important that as African countries we chart a particular course to grab the opportunities that are made available by renewable and cleaner energy resources. And we also live at a time when the state of global peace, stability, and security is extremely fragile. In many parts of the world, we are witnessing the rise of unilateralism, impunity, and disregard for international law, which runs contrary to the aspirations of the United Nations Charter. In many ways, this is undermining the spirit of multilateralism that must be at the center of global affairs. South Africa is deeply concerned at the worsening situation in the Middle East. Israel's war on the people of Gaza continues unabated. We repeat our call for a ceasefire of hostilities in this regard, and for the remaining hostages to be freed, and for humanitarian aid to reach the people of Palestine in Gaza. As we have consistently reiterated, there can be no peace without justice. It is our responsibility as the international community to support those who are suffering from the effects of instability. And in this regard, South Africa remains equally concerned about the continued occupation of Western Sahara by Morocco, It is the right of the people of Western Sahara to determine their own destiny. And we join Algeria in the position that it has always held about the issue of the people of Sahara. The United Nations and African Union must fast-track the process to resolve this matter in line with the provision of the 1991 ceasefire agreement, UN resolutions, and the legal opinion of the international and continental institutions. As a country that won our freedom through dialogue and negotiation, we reiterate our commitment to the peaceful resolution of conflict and to peace-building efforts in Africa, whether in the Eastern DRC, in Libya, in Sudan, or other parts of Africa. And beyond the tragic humanitarian toll these conflicts threaten to derail the achievement of Africa's 2063 agenda, and with it, peace and development on our continent. And we reiterate our call for the institutions of global governance, particularly the United Nations Security Council, to be reformed. And we recognize the role that Algeria continues to play as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, a role that is progressive and pro-Africa and pro the Global South. As the Global South, we must remain united and speak with one voice. A few days ago, South Africa assumed the presidency of the G20. We will use our presidency to advance the African agenda and to champion the needs and the interests of the Global South. And as I said, we look forward to welcoming you to the first G20 summit on the African continent. We would like Algeria, as our very close friend, to participate in this G20, and we accordingly invite you to be part of our G20 summit, which will be held in Johannesburg in South Africa later next year. In conclusion, it is greatly encouraging to witness the strong bilateral relations between our two countries, and we look forward to further deepening our collaboration. And it is for this reason that we are very pleased to have come to Algeria. And let me then also extend